Time to address a few things since the last video I made on Monday.
Transformer in question. I'm going to set up the...
Good afternoon, YouTube. It is now Wednesday. I'm about wrecked my brain here. It's 12:59 in the afternoon. You can see I have the tablet set up here with the video I just uploaded to, or I didn't just upload it, but just became public on about an hour ago on YouTube.
on the scope.
What I wanted to show you was, if I could,
What the
I don't know where it was at in the video, but it was on down the line from here.
to 6.3
I'm not going to get no...
outputs on this transformer. And what we want to do...
Let's see if I can get down this way. There it is. Let's see if I can get it over here where I want it at. Anyway, what I was trying to get at is when I had this hooked up, I couldn't figure out exactly why I was getting 12.6 out of the video.
Move that up a little bit. The other one up there as well.
Not the video. Anyway, let's forget that. Let me just go over here to the transformer. I wanted to see where I had the wires connected because I don't really remember, to tell you the truth. And that was what I was trying to do. Like I said, get rid of this. There we go. Now, what I was trying to do was find out which wires I had to go. Here's what the deal was. Bob had to point this out to me. Thanks, Bob, for that. I had the scope probes hooked up, you will recall, and I had the grounds hooked up to, I don't know if it was these two, or whichever ones it was. I'll have to watch the video again to see. But what it was is those two ground parts of the probe are common on the scope. In other words, it's just like connecting a clip lead between here and here, and that's why I got 12. Oh, you guys are not seeing all this, are you? But that's why I got 12.6 or whatever I did get out of it between these two leads here, because that was it was basically a common wire. I couldn't figure out how I was getting, because the windings are different on this side and this side. So I couldn't figure out how I was getting a combined 12.6 with nothing connecting each other, but it was the scope wire that was doing it, which, duh. You know, I should have realized that, but I didn't. And that makes me mad sometimes when I do stupid stuff like that. Anyway, that's why I was getting it, and I'll have to figure out which two wires it was, because obviously that's what you have to do to get to 12.6, and that's what we'll have to keep in mind. So that's that. I have not done much of anything in here since I did that video, which was a couple of days ago, I think. I believe it was Monday. I wanted to share with you these parts that came in. These are the knobs for the BDST. Those are here, and also I got these in the other day as well. These are the pots for Ron C. I wanted to see one, I think, and let me, if I can get one out real quick without having to go through a lot of rigmarole. There it is. But there's what they look like. Ron, he was wanting to see what they look like. It's just a pot with a switch, and the bottom looks just like that. So, am I getting up here enough to see it? So, you can see what it looks like. That's just a green square pot. Right angle type thing, and that's what they are. Now, the reason he wanted to see what they look like is because he is one of our beta testers, and he's been really, really good to let us know the things we need to fix, and this was one of them. Apparently, You like that word? Apparently. I must have forgot to put these in the package. I had 4 of these. I had 4 left. Well, I didn't have 4 left. Bob actually sent me one, so I would have enough because I used one for my prototype, and I just left me 3. So he sent me one. I had 4 to send out to the beta testers. Well, I don't know what happened to them because I have not been able to find them. These are the new ones I just got in. So somewhere around here, I have 4 of those pots sitting around here waiting to be shipped. You know, it's not doing anybody any good. Now I know it's probably didn't get in any of the packages because one of the other beta testers also let me know that it wasn't there. So I know 2 out of 4 for sure have not been shipped. Now the other one hasn't arrived to its destination yet, and the other one is has not gotten around to opening up the package and looking to see if it's in there. So when all that is done, I will ship out the correct number and get those to where they belong. Also, Ron has been good to share with us some problems with the documentation. Again, you know, you start seeing spots in front of your eyes when you mess with stuff like this over and over, and you know what I mean. It just you think, well, that's got that taken care of, or this has got this taken care of, or whatever, and it doesn't. And mainly because you're just so enthralled with the whole thing. I mean, you're just full of it, and it just doesn't work as well as you think it does. So anyway, he did find a couple of problems there, and those have been addressed, and they have the corrected assembly manual and checklist. Now the parts checklist was missing a resistor, and one of the other resistors was labeled wrong, and again, that was part of the assembly manual, was the same thing. Some shortcomings of the assembly manual have been addressed, and I think those are pretty good now. I still haven't updated those on the website, but I did update those for the guys that have the beta test units. So after we get the complete the beta testing done, we'll know for sure that those are good instructions, and we can go ahead and update the website then. Whew. Anyway, the other thing is the labels. Again, I think I mentioned this, but we're going to try to do these ourselves, just to see how they turn out. It may work out, may not. But this is the one for the side. You can see we have volume on off, RF AF here, input, and 9-volt DC. Now I don't know if you can tell how you can tell it, but this has been swapped around. There's a line in the middle. And the labels we got are just the correct size for this, and the line down the middle will denote where to cut those in 2, and that will provide 2 labels for each. It would provide 2 separate stickers for each label that we print. So that's a good way of doing that. So I wanted to make sure this does exactly line up, and I think it does. Well, I got this one. How's that? There's our lineup right there, so you can see they all, well, if I could get this thing where it pointed where it's supposed to be, it might help. But you can see here that it does in fact line up pretty good. Whoops. With the things on the board, so I don't have the switch on this one yet, but it will have, and that's correct alignment for it, so they will be, that will obviously go right above that on the case top half, whatever, and be posted right above those controls. So that should work out good. So I've addressed the filament. That's how I got my 6 or 12.6. Got that in. Bob has done testing on the power supply circuit that I posted the other day. JP was a little concerned about this, and Bob has done some testing on it. He prototyped the setup using his own power supply. I think I believe it was putting out 360 volts, I think he said. But anyway, he did test it. He said it works fine. Yes, the FET does need to be well heat sinked, and it does get hot, but it does work. So that's a good thing. I was a little bit worried about that because after what JP's comments were on the video the other day, and I obviously rather err on the side of caution. But after Bob's pretty good at stuff like this. He does a lot of breadboarding and a lot of perf boarding, things like that. He tests everything, and he knows when it works or doesn't work. So I'm glad of that. I mean, you have theory, but then you have also cold hard test, as it was. So that's good. That's good. Together. Now tomorrow, I have to visit Mom. Tomorrow's Thursday. I go to visit her on Thursdays, and then Friday I have a doctor's appointment. So this video here that I'm doing right now will be posted tomorrow, and I don't have anything for Friday as of yet, unless I come up with something this evening. So we may be absent a video Friday, or I may do something after visiting Mom or before even. I have. That's just a few hours out of my day, and then I have the rest of the day. So, another good thing happened yesterday. The lawnmower people came and went, and I still have internet. That was a real good thing. Plus, now not only did the ones that mow this grass came, but the ones next door that cut it before, he came and went, and it's still working. I believe they came from wherever organization marks the water lines, power lines, things like the ones you call before you dig. Came and marked all the utilities for Xfinity, so when they dig, they'll know where they're digging at. And so that's been done, I believe. I haven't actually been out there to look, but I'm told from emails that they did do that. So maybe that's why my lawnmower guys were careful not to, because they put little flags in the ground when you're getting ready to bury something, I think. And I think maybe the lawnmower guys should be aware of stuff like that. So apparently they were, because like I said, I still have my internet. So happy about that. Anyway, so like I said, these have got to be mailed out to, I want to make sure that I want to do them all at once, and there's no real hurry about as far as everybody getting them. But in other words, I want to make one trip, do all. So you guys that's waiting on these, please be patient. As soon as I hear from everybody, I will be. The only reason I'm hesitating is because I cannot find these anywhere. And I know I lose things from time to time, but I had all this stuff together here. And I used the checklist, the parts checklist, to make sure that I was getting everything into the kits, and I thought I did. So now there's a possibility. I don't know how, because I can't find them. There's a possibility that one kit may have 4 in it. I have done stranger things in my life. You know how that works. So anywho, that's that. I think everything else is pretty well set up. I'm going to be working on this for long, getting a circuit ready to go and finding an enclosure for it. It probably will sit over here. Let me show you. The transformer itself will probably sit in this area right over in here next to the signal generator here, and there's a strip in there, and there's a good spot in there for it that can't really be used for a lot of different stuff, but that's probably where I will put it. So, and then the panel itself will go next to the DDCPS right in here. It doesn't have to be a big panel. It will have a meter, just basically the same as this one here. I think it's a 600 volt, 1 amp, or 999 milliamp meter is what it is, and that's what I wanted for here, but I don't think I got that. But anyway, that's what I'm shooting for, and basically that's all it will be. It will have 3 outlets. It had one for high voltage, and when I say outlets, I'm talking about positive and negative. Positive and negative for high voltage, positive and negative for 6.3, another positive and negative for 6.3, and there will be a designation on it where to plug in for these 12.6. So that will all be on the panel. It doesn't have to be really huge, and other than the meter itself, that's all that will be there. The wiring, or not wiring, but the circuitry for the power supply itself, and the transformer will all be over off to the side, and just the wires themselves will run over to the panel, and that's really about it. I'm going to use some heavily insulated wire for the high voltage windings coming in over there, because you know it's anytime you're working with almost 500 volts, well 300 volts, whatever, that's quite a bit more than a normal voltage, and I want to make sure that there's no arcing between the two or something like that, so that will be happening. So that's that. I think that's all I had for this time. I've been trying to set up my tablet. Ron C. His way with the Tube website. I want that on there. In fact, I've got it on there. I'd really like to just download that if there was any way possible doing that, because you know, I think that would be better, it'd be quicker, I think. But like I said, I just think that the speaker on this, I don't know how much you could hear when I had it going a while ago, but it is really bad. So what I really need to do is if I'm going to use it in here, is tie it into the bench amp, give me some decent sound, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. I think there's an earphone jack on here, and I think all I need to do is run the output from that over to two RCA plugs, right and left, and plug that into the bench amp, and I believe I'll have decent sound that way. I'm not really getting this, am I? There we go. There's our stuff, and like I said, if I had the I did this on Chrome, that website. Now I don't know exactly, I've not used Chrome that much to do things like this. I think I put it on here on the yeah, here it is, but I just put it on thing. There's your data sheets, and you basically, like a 50L6 or whatever, type F, or not F, 5, and that brings up your tubes, and I've said that wrong, I think. Tube type, yeah, 5. There we go, 58.5. I don't know how well you can see that. I've got the light off behind me. 50L6 is somewhere down through here. I think I passed it. There it is, 50L6 GT, right there. And then it brings up the data sheet for that, which is nice. I appreciate Ron for passing that along. That's a good deal. Okay, before you get excited, I know I brought the wrong tube up. It's not a 50L6, it's 50C5. Actually the tube draw was the same for it. I checked it out, but the 50L6 draws at an idle or no signal 49 milliamps B plus is what it draws. Now the heat kit, if we look at that, you'll see that it puts out around 138 volts, and that the windings that it draws that power from is rated at 45 milliamps. Now that in itself is probably enough to get by for that tube, maybe even the preamp tube, I don't know. But when you stop and consider the fact that the heat kit is still hooked up to its tubes, and they are still drawing power, it's not enough. It's going to be, you know, unless you go inside of it and take the tubes out, you know, that's not going to work. Yeah. And I'm just afraid it's not going to have enough oomph to do this. So this is what the transformer I just got is for, and that will be, I think it'll provide at least 100 milliamps, and I think that should just about be good enough for any radio circuit, I would think. And I think that should actually power the whole radio from a B plus standpoint. We're going to try that too, and see if it will. So, you know, a lot coming up on stuff like that. I love doing stuff like that, playing around with it and doing, you know, but this is really handy. I'm so thrilled to have that on this tablet, and like I said, it's just very, very nice to use. And like I said, it covers a lot of tubes, I mean, obviously. And so, you know, that's a good deal. I like that. And I'd like to get some more stuff on here. This is what this laptop, or I keep calling it a laptop, tablet is for using here in the shop. I have a couple of things on my phone that will be put on here as well. Let me see if I can find one real quick. One is an electronic database. Has a lot of different information on it. Yeah, the Electro Droid. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Let me see if it'll go this way. I don't want to buy it. But anyway, you see resistor color codes, SMD color resistor codes, surface mount, inductor color codes, Ohm's law, reactance, resonance, filters, voltage divider, resistor ratio. It just has a multitude of stuff that you can use, and I want to put that on the tablet. Obviously, it's an Android app. It should work on there just fine. So that is going to be used, and I'm going to load that on there. So that, like I said, I want to put all the information. And being this you know, does access the internet now, it's handier than ever, because like I said, you just you know, I cannot get that X. I keep hitting the X, and somehow it gets over to the plus. I don't know how that works, but but it does. So anywho, that's. Also want to make a decent plug-in power here for this. I've been understanding that the battery doesn't last long on this, so I want to make sure I can plug it in if need be. I do have the phone charger. Well, that's the one that goes for the lights. But I have one of them around here somewhere that will plug into this and charge the battery. I have confirmed that. It does not have to have the actual charger to do that. So that's a possibility of having one of those, but I need a couple more long of those micro USB cables so I can do that. I've got several of them, but they're really bad. They don't work. So anywho, that's that. I think that's about it. I really don't have anything else on here. I watched videos sometimes, you know, on here, and that's about it. But the speaker, like I said, is so bad on this that you know, it's just, you know, not real good. Now, you can access YouTube on this two different ways. You can access it through Google, like that, or you can access it through the YouTube app, which I generally like to do. Why am I not able to, oh, here we go. Could see what I was doing. Like, get rid of that, and get rid of that, and go to YouTube. So, that, like I said, this is built into the Android thing. Or not, it's an app, actually. But you can do your own subscriptions, which I have been doing. But you can watch, you know, I just watched this Haggerty video. It's kind of neat. The only thing I don't like about this is the fact that it doesn't allow you to do a theater mode like it does on a laptop. I like the theater mode. It's not quite full screen, but yet it's a lot bigger, you know, thing. You can do full screen on this, which, you know, does work, but at the same time, it's all right, I guess. But you can hear the sound is really pitiful on this. So I watch Haggerty's channel because they have some cool car videos and stuff. So, but anyway, that's that. Like I say, I've talked long enough. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. And like I say, I'll try to come up with something unique for either tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Friday or something. And we'll get back to doing something. I really want to get back on the Simple AM Plus and get it done. I got this far because of what Bob sent me. I want to get that done, and I need to get that done the rest of the way for Bob and for me. And so that's one of the next things, next kits to come along, I think, is that one. So we're going to hope for it anyway. Let's see. So anyway, that's that. And I'm happy to, like I said, you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching, and we will see you.